Hey, welcome in. Now, if you're going to be really offended by the joke by Ken Jennings, which has been dredged up from years ago, and we're going to get to it in a second, if you're going to be really offended by that, you're really going to be offended by this video, just in general, right? And will this be the video that gets me kicked off YouTube? I don't know. But you know, all these little bits of self-censorship and holding your tongue because you don't want to say something that's going to offend somebody, all these little lies we tell ourselves, you know, every time that we hand over just a little part of our soul so that we can fit in or we won't be criticized, you know, every little bit of capitulation to the scolds just makes the world a little bit less fun, a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more antiseptic. And just a lot less worth living in, right? And this isn't even really offensive, for God's sakes. It's just a dumb joke. Anyway, it says here, the outrage police are out in full force after someone dug up a 2014 tweet from Jeopardy champion Ken Jennings and deemed it worthy of outrage, just as Jennings is being considered for the Jeopardy hosting job. It was announced this week that Jennings will be the first interim host when the show returns in January. So Alex Trebek has sadly passed on, and they need a new host. And Ken Jennings is, you know, he's like, I think, the most winningest Jeopardy contestant of all time. But apparently, you know, but hold the brakes on that. He tweeted something 6 years ago. And as we know, you know, everything that anybody's ever tweeted is the most important thing that's ever happened in world history. So, and this is from Outkick.com, by the way, this article. So what does this mean? This ultimately means there are more eyeballs on Jennings and everything he has written on social media over his life, of course, because it's your whole life, everything you've ever said or done, right? Someone went back to 2014 and found a tweet that horrified all the outragers on social media. And what did he tweet? Quote, nothing sadder than a hot person in a wheelchair. Now, what's funny about this is that it's Ken Jennings tweeting this. That's what's funny about it. Because he is the least likely person to tweet nothing sadder than a hot person in a wheelchair ever. That's why this is funny to me. I mean, this is Ken Jennings right here, right? I just think it's kind of unexpected to hear that from Ken Jennings, and I find it hilarious. But it turns out this isn't even the first time this has come up. I didn't hear about it before, but apparently Jennings apologized for the tweet in 2018. Quote, I never did a public flogging thing for this, but I did apologize personally to angry, hurt people who reached out personally. It was a joke so inept that it meant something very different in my head, and I regret the ableist plain reading of it. I'm going to say something here very controversial. I'm going to say you don't have to feel bad because you're not disabled. Is that offensive now? Is that offensive? I don't know. But anyway, he's saying here that the joke meant something very different in his own head. And come on, he's like a Jeopardy machine. And let's be honest here. He's probably somewhere on the spectrum, right? I don't doubt that his intent may have been different than what it appeared to be. I don't know. I don't really care. I just think it's hilarious that Ken Jennings tweeted that. Anyway, it says here, that doesn't matter. It's 2020, and Ken can still be dragged for the tweet since he might get Trebek's hosting job. And there it is. Ken Jennings. Nothing sadder than a hot person in a wheelchair. Bravo, Ken Jennings. Bravo. But, you know, I think this shows why you never apologize to the mob, because he's already apologized. Of course, that wasn't enough. It never is. It's forever. When you go against woke, it's forever. There is no forgiveness. Just going to interrupt for 1 second to say, if you like this content, subscribe so you can see more. Thanks a lot. So let's see. Okay, so some people who would like to have a word with Ken. So, of course, you know, there's going to be a response to this. So here's somebody who's saying, hot and happy as F in a wheelchair. All right. So here's another one. Hot person in a wheelchair. So sad, huh? Okay. And here's another one here. Came all the way back to the Twitterverse for the hot person in a wheelchair movement. And man, Ken Jennings was right. It's just so sad. Okay. Now, again, I guess I have to be the one to say this. None of these people are unattractive, you know. Hot might be a bit of a stretch. That's all that I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying. I am so sorry to the world. Now, look, I mean, I guess the point of this really is that you have to be able to make a bad joke because everybody's got something about them that they're going to be offended if you make fun of that thing. And look, you have to be able to make fun of everybody or else you can't make fun of anybody. And we know that, the super woke, the super sensitive love to make fun of people. It's just the approved, group of people that they're allowed to make fun of, and viciously at that, actually. So, it's kind of like either an everybody or nobody thing because otherwise you're just going to cause more resentment than you would otherwise. If you just let everybody have at it and just the understanding was there's, a social contract that you don't have the right to not be offended. That maybe we're all better off having a laugh at ourselves every now and then. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast, Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform, including Spreaker. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time.